Changing something that's already considered perfect by most people is ballsy. But changing it and getting it right and make it even better, it's fucking out of this world. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what Rolls-Royce did with their brand new Ghost. Let's talk about why this is so spectacular, even though this is the cheapest Rolls-Royce in the lineup. And to understand every single company, we gotta understand Rolls-Royce. As everybody knows, Rolls-Royce has been making the most insanely and out-of-control luxurious automobiles in the entire universe. Yes, in the entire universe, I checked. Don't fucking ask any questions. Don't look it up on Google. So Rolls-Royce been doing this for a long time, but they've always had only one model. And it's as of recent years that they decided to make more models. Remember, let me make a parenthesis here. BMW owns Rolls-Royce. Perhaps not Rolls-Royce entirely, but they do have a license to produce all of their cars, and they do it together. So if BMW wants to make a Rolls-Royce, Rolls-Royce has to approve, obviously, and that's what's keeping the brand so great. And also, you get to have all the goodies from BMW, which are insane, like the iDrive system in your car, in a Rolls-Royce. And it works perfectly because the old Rolls-Royces, we all know that they had a lot of problems, and everything felt like your dad bought that car. It's like everything felt like that house that your parents or your grandparents owned forever, that it's really nice, but it's still really outdated. This is not the problem anymore. Rolls-Royce has 5 models these days. Right now, we're talking about the Cullinan, which is the SUV. We're talking about the Phantom, which is their signature gigantic car. That is the Mac Daddy of them all. That is the holy mecca of everything. Then you have the Ghost, which separates itself in 3 other models. There's the Ghost, which is the big 4-door. There's the Wraith, which is the 2-door. And then there's the Dawn, which is the 2-door convertible version of the Ghost, if you will. Now, every single car in the lineup has been updated except the Ghost line, the Wraith, and the Dawn. And the first one to get that treatment is the Ghost. And let me tell you something, this fucking car is unbelievable. I thought the other car was perfect the way it was, but I was wrong. I was dead wrong, because this is it. This is it, boys, and I'm spitting a lot. COVID. So a lot of you might be wondering, why am I listening to this Mexican? But also you might be wondering, what's different about this car, Alejandro? Let's go with the latter. It's really simple. This car is completely redesigned, reimagined, all on the outside. I know it looks the same because it's got to keep the same design and it's got to be authentic to its roots, but every single thing is different in this car. Let's start with the front. The only thing that stayed is that grille. Everything else, and even the grille, has some surprises, and I'll show you in a second. But those headlights make it look so aggressive, along with the lines in the hood. This is a car that looks kind of funky in pictures, but in real life looks incredible. Incredible. Not only that, but they made this car way longer than before and thicker than before. And I know there's a joke in there for you guys. Yeah, longer and thicker. Just like your boy. So... So the car's longer, the car's thicker, but it doesn't drive like that, which is another thing that blows my mind. This is an excellent exercise at modernizing something without losing its essence. They killed it because every single detail in the car flows perfectly well together. There's enough chrome to accent the parts that are important, there's enough black where it's supposed to be, and then the car ride just looks spectacular the way it's sitting right now. I gotta say, the back is the most ordinary part in here, but it's kind of hard to get a ridiculous back end when you're talking about class and a classy car. But when you look at it from the back, it does remind you a lot of the new Ghost, and that's a beautiful thing. Only bad thing about the back is you're gonna look at these exhausts and realize that there's 2 exhausts inside the actual pipe, and not my favorite move, but hey, that's only one little fucking stupid thing. Who gives a shit? And now I want to show you a couple of things that will make you be a Rolls-Royce connoisseur in front of everybody, just like I am right now. So number 1, you guys see that line that's painted right here? That's painted. That's absolutely painted, and it goes throughout the whole car. Those lines are made by one dude at the Rolls-Royce factory. He is in charge of painting every single line outside of the car, and he does it by hand. That dude has got a pulse like no doctor in the universe. How about that? The other part is, I believe there's no other car that has such a big piece, such a one big piece. And it took like a lot of work to be able to do it. Not like it took a lot of work to get it done. You guys see this one piece that goes in here and goes down here, and it's basically the whole roof? That is pretty impossible to do, but they still managed to do it. The other thing that's insane is the camera system that the car has right here. Why does the car need a camera system? You might be wondering. You might be like, oh, it probably auto drives itself. Well, not really. What he does is something different. What he does is looking at the road ahead of you and trying to not predict, it's actually seeing the road ahead of you and seeing what exactly is the type of road, if there are any imperfections, bumps, or whatever, and then it'll adjust the air suspension to be ready for those bumps. God damn! And before I forget, these headlights can illuminate up to 600 meters ahead of you. The conversion is right here. Yeah, just in case, you gotta throw a signal at someone in space or something. But that's there. Another really nice little detail is the Rolls-Royce caps, center caps that are always facing down, no matter what. Whether the car is parked or moving, those are always going to be facing down. And finally, I asked him, why do you guys do it? Do you do it for some aerodynamic, crazy black magic thing that is happening? And they said, no, Alejandro, we do it because we can. All right. Another thing I love about Rolls-Royce is they don't play games. They're selling you their cheapest car and they're putting all of the crazy doors that you get in the Phantom in here. Unlike some other brands that they only give you the butterfly doors and other shit. These people are not what Kanye calls suicide doors. These are actual suicide doors. My man Kanye is a little confused with the jet doors. But these are suicide doors. Let me tell you a little interesting thing about why they're suicide doors. I don't know why they're called that, but they're pretty fucking cool. And since we're looking at the doors already, I want you guys to see this. This is a big deal because these doors are heavy. Those are thick doors so that you can't hear anything inside of the car. These doors don't move anymore. Wherever you place them and the car's on a nice uphill, the door doesn't go any further than wherever you leave it. And that's really important because these doors are really heavy and whenever they open like crazy, you're damaging those screws right there. So let's pretend that you already got into your car and you're like, oh no, my God, the door is just so far and heavy. Well, worry no more, my friend. All you gotta do is pull this little button and magically the door closes on you. Because you don't want to burn no calories that you're not planning on burning. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Because you want a fucking Rolls-Royce. And if you thought that was classy with the doors and that's it, well, you're wrong. Because now you can close the door also with a button on the outside. And even though it's on a downhill, it did not slam the door. You see, Sergio, it is possible to close the door without slamming it. Oh, well, and let's say that you're sitting in the back and you're fucking tired and, you don't want to stretch for your door because your driver's doing something else like helping your wife or kids or something like that that's irrelevant to you. All you need to do is press this button right here and the door will magically close. And again, without slamming, Sergio, isn't that wild? I'm sorry, did you think I was done with the doors? Because I'm not. Here's the deal. You can also open the doors, and this is a downhill, guys. I'm gonna open it once, and then I'm gonna pull this until I want the door to stop. And why they do it like with a double pull? Because if the door opened just like that and there was someone coming like this, and you hit him with this, they would sue you because you're in a Rolls-Royce, and they're entitled to your money in America. And now that we're here, let me show you everything that they did with this car because it's incredible. This is really a baby Phantom. They brought all of the nice buttons, all of the nice chrome, and let me tell you something, the metal is metal. And that is something that really matters when you're spending money. You don't want to see anything painted metal and it's just, plastic covered in whatever thing to chrome it. This is actual metal that you're touching and it feels really, really expensive. This is really nice. Even right here by the seats, come on, those seat controllers look more expensive than my house, son. Come on, this is really fucking nice. Another thing they didn't miss a single beat on was the seats. Again, these are almost the same seats. I have no idea why they're more comfortable than before, but they are. And the other beautiful thing about them is they have a massage button that has 3 different levels. Back in the day, Rolls-Royce only had 1 level in their massage button, and also it turned off whenever it felt like it. So after 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever it was, it would turn off. This has 3 levels, strong, medium, and mild, which is really nice. And the best thing is, it'll last as long as you want it to last. And that's not what she said. Well, and if you guys are as manly as I am and you don't want to close the doors with no buttons, you can just do it by grabbing onto this. And that is really nice because I'm very manly. Very, very manly. Another fresh update that this car got is right here, this panel. This is a Phantom panel. It used to belong only in the Phantom and it was a little bit different, a little bit older looking, but now it made it to the Ghost, which is incredible. This is the cheapest car Rolls-Royce makes. But for real, you have pretty much everything you need as far as your lights go. So you have your automatic lights, your headlights, and your rear lights, and you know, you can put in automatic, blah, 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 all the standard settings. You have your parking lights, your right parking lights, left parking lights, start, turn off button, and also for all of your sensors around the car if you need to park. And here's for the panel brightness. So finally did it. You finally fucking did it, kids.
Well, hello, boys.
This is another thing I really like about this car. I love how they did their digital dash because it's not entirely digital. You do have some chrome rings around here and then just those fixed little things right there, but everything else disappears. The numbers disappear, the lines disappear, the RR disappears, the 35 miles an hour disappears when the car's off. And I love that. The one thing that people keep asking me, which is weird to them, is power reserve. Because in here, normally you would have your RPM and it goes the other way around. It goes from 0 all the way to 9,000, 8,000, 7,000, 6,000. I sound like an auctioneer. But it's none of those things, it's 5,000. But right now, the way they do it is, let's say that you're cruising at 40 miles an hour. If you're just cruising at 40 miles an hour without accelerating, that's where you're cruising, the power reserve is going to show at 100%. That means you have 100% of the beans to give it to the car. So whenever you accelerate, the power band's going to go down as pretty much an electric car because you're taking a lot from the power band and it just works the other way around. And it does feel so fucking elegant, so elegant. Now this steering wheel doesn't look anymore like it belongs on my dad's car, and that's a fucking humongous positive. I love the chrome that they added to the car. I love that they make it a little bit thicker. Just thicker is a little bit better. Come on, everybody knows that. So a thicker steering wheel, and then you get all of the updated buttons and looks. And honestly, they did a hell of a job. All of your cruise controls right here. You can set it, you can turn it on and off right here. You can reset it and you can do your speed right here. And this is to see how far away you want to be from the guy in front of you because the car has adaptive cruise control. That means it'll stop if someone's coming into your lane slower than you are, which they always fucking do it to me and I fucking hate it. Anyways, then you have your volume buttons, your microphone right here, volume buttons right here, go through menus right here, and obviously more to go up and down right there. It is incredible that it doesn't look like my mom's car anymore. Wow, wow! Little note, not everyone that gets into a Rolls-Royce knows this because they don't own them. If you press this, the gearbox tightens up and then it becomes a little sportier to drive. It's nice, honestly, I use it on my Ghost all the time. Oh, my biggest complaint in a Rolls-Royce was technology, and this one, they got it right. It's finally the iDrive system from BMW, but the new one. And as you guys can tell, you can operate it from here. But the most exciting thing is, finally, this is a touchscreen, guys. A real fucking touchscreen in a Rolls-Royce, and it works. And obviously, it's the iDrive technology, but it looks Rolls-Royce, and it sounds Rolls-Royce, and it feels Rolls-Royce. And I can't believe I'm seeing a Rolls-Royce with modern technology. It's fucking gorgeous. It's gorgeous, Mom. It's got a great parking system. It gives you depth so that you know where everything is really. I mean, it's pretty much what you wanted from the start. This is it. They killed it. You can see the car from all angles. It works really nicely, especially for such a big car. And from the technology, they stayed with all of the chrome and they added even more metal finishes, which is incredible all around the car. Open, close your vents right here, your hazard lights, open and lock and unlock. Obviously, volume up, volume down. Right here, you have your radio system. And underneath it, you have your AC and also your heating for your butt, your cooling for your butt, your heating for the steering wheel, and then on the other side. And right here, more operation for your AC controllers. And underneath, of course, in chrome, we have cup holders, because that's elegant as fuck. And then underneath it, we have the iDrive system with all of your parking assist right here, and this is for the suspension to go up or down, iDrive, and this is for your doors. If you wanna close your doors with the buttons, that's it. Now, here's the interesting part. Right here, they finally did it, boys. They finally fucking did it. I can put my, well, I guess my sunglasses would fit. That's nice, no? Oh man, this is so nice. No, guys, no, you're not looking at the wrong thing. That is a USB-C port. Yes, so now you can plug in your phone directly like it's 2021. That is incredible because the old ones were a pain in the ass to connect and it almost never worked. This is right. This is done right. Now, here's the one bad thing. It does have Apple CarPlay, but it does not have Google Play. It has nothing else, just Apple CarPlay, because apparently rich people only have iPhones. And I don't know if I agree with that. Speaking of me and elegance, How about these lights, man? How about these lights? Are you kidding me? They look so nice. They belong in a museum, in a chapel, in a hotel, like a 5-star hotel I can't afford. Look at them. They turn on so softly. It doesn't disrupt anything from your eyes. This is elegance at a level I've never seen before, because, I'm Mexican. Well, and now in the passenger seat, you can see that beautiful clock, which, I mean, Jesus, that looks really nice. I love the all chrome look. I never actually thought about that. That looks amazing. And then on this side, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is like a wood panel that has some sort of start light within itself because it's got LEDs behind it that show little stars in here. And Rolls-Royce claims that each one of these is original to its own. Like every car that you buy has a different constellation in there. Now that is sick, because they didn't have to do that. That is just, goddamn, I have so much money and you should buy this and pay for it. And yeah, they should. I know this car is 5.5 meters long, which is crazy already, but there's an extended wheelbase version. Of course, because some people just need more space. But let me show you how much space they need, because it makes no sense. I am pretty comfortable right now in the car. That's a shaky pulse I got, but there's nothing I can do about it. But this is pretty comfy. There's plenty of space for all of my organs, and I have no complaints. This is all really nice. Really fucking nice and spacious. Ooh, I think I'm gonna live there, Danny. That's it, Danny. I'm sorry, you thought luxury was done up in this bitch? Ha! Dumbass. Well, you can press this button and then of course you have a picnic table made out of wood that comes out with your foldable screen. And yes guys, that's the touchscreen that helps you control everything in the car so that your driver, that piece of shit, doesn't even think about putting his music on. Well, you can play your own music right here. Even if you want to play some AM radio, you can. Here's a touchscreen. That's wonderful. Oh, I mean that menu. So yeah, there's things that change. It's pretty cool. It's really cool. Now, let's say that you're tired of all luxuries. Just press that button and make everything go away. Because you're a mature man and you don't need toys to be in the back seat of a Rolls-Royce. And I'm sure you guys know, but this is a 3-seat configuration on the back. This car can have another thing right here that's always here and makes it a 4-seater, completely eliminating this space. But in here, we didn't do it. And normally, when you bring this down, there should be a fridge right here, but Danny did not spec this, so he did not get the fridge. Because I know he would have. I know Danny likes his fridges in his cars. I know you, Danny. Come here, give me a kiss. Now, in here you have some storage, obviously. But most importantly, if you want to go analog and control all of your radio and still tell James, your driver, to take it easy with the music, you can do it from here. And even better yet, all of your controls for your seat. Yes, controls for your back seat. Because you can lean that, you can sit up straight, you can lower it, you can make it go higher. I mean, you can pretty much do anything here. Do you know why? Because it's a fucking Rolls-Royce, that's why. Oh, it's so nice, so nice. And also, if you're sitting back here, you can heat up your butt, you can cool your butt, you can change your AC unit. They're independent for each side. Obviously, the flow of air is just uniform for both units right here, and you can adjust accordingly with these, just like in the front. But also, you can obviously get a massage in the back seat because this is a Rolls-Royce, kids, and the guy sitting back here is probably the guy with the money. Except in this case, it's just the Mexican guy sitting back here. Check this out. And I don't know, guys, if you can see it, but the windows are pretty thick. They're double glazed windows. That means you're not gonna hear anything from the outside. And why would you? You have a Rolls-Royce. Whatever they say doesn't matter, right? Right? And also, for that same kind of rich people that don't want to hear anything, you also have an air purifier in here. So if there's anything that the car detects that's unpurified air, it'll clean it up, recycle it, and then spit it out really cleanly, because you deserve it. You bought a Rolls-Royce. One of my favorite things about Rolls-Royce, and this is something that they do incredibly well, is put that motor together with an incredible gearbox that has an 8-speed automatic. This is a V12 twin-turbo 6.7-liter engine that produces 571 horsepower, takes the car from 0 to 60 in only 4.6 seconds. For a car that weighs as much as this and is this big, that is fucking nonsense. So, one of my favorite parts about this car is driving it. And let me tell you why. Let's go for a ride and let me explain. Now, as we get to drive this car, I gotta say something. This car went up in price tremendously. Well, not tremendously, but significantly. My car, I have the Rolls-Royce Black Badge, which is the Ghost Black Badge, which is probably the most expensive out-of-the-box spec that you can possibly get. This car was $13,000 more expensive. My car was $420,000. That's right, $420,000. And this one is $433,000 as is. And it's still missing the fridge, the separator, and it's missing some stuff. So this spec has really gone up in value. But the thing is, did Rolls-Royce up the quality to justify that price spike in this model? And the answer is yes. And I'm just giving you straight up the answer right now, because what you get in this package is a mini Phantom. It's exactly the same car with all the same details, with all the nice everywhere you can find in a Ghost. So you're getting a cheaper Phantom, if you will. This is a great move by Rolls-Royce. They were also already in a space that no one was competing. The Bentley's nice and all, but this is not the same car. It's not competing against these cars. This is on a league of its own. And right now, what they did and what makes a Rolls-Royce so great is how quiet they are when you drive, how isolated you feel inside. The road is nothing more than where you have to be to get to where you want to be. It's not a distraction anymore. There's no sound. There's not going to be road rage, nothing. And they did that with simple stuff like bettering the windows, the double glazed windows. They put even more sound deafening materials in the tires so that you don't hear the road noise, and you really can't hear it. The engine, I mean, it doesn't make a peep unless you accelerate like a motherfucker. It's incredible. And the gearbox, I think the gearbox is where all the money's worth in this car. It's an 8-speed sequential gearbox. It's phenomenal. But the thing is, have you guys felt or seen or heard any gear change in the car? This is what's incredible about Rolls-Royce. It really makes you forget you're driving the car. What I like about mine and what I love about the brand is these cars are meant to be driven for a very long time, for very long drives. I've taken mine to Arizona. I've taken my car to fucking everywhere you can imagine. And it is the best car to drive for a long time because it never makes you tired. It's incredible. The suspension is a magnificent piece of work. It feels like a cloud. There's nothing I can describe right here. There's no words that can describe what it feels like to roll in a Rolls-Royce and feel that suspension just take care of everything. And on top of that, add that they have a GPS component to that suspension, to that air suspension, and also the cameras in front of you, so that it can keep anticipating all of the terrain in front of you and leveling the fucking car and the suspension accordingly, so that you never feel a rough ride. And that's why you're spending the extra money. That's why the sound system is beyond incredible. Obviously, aside from all of they did to the windows, the tires, all of the sound deafening material they put in the doors, in the bottom of the cabin, everywhere. Add to that the sound frequency stuff that they added so that you can't hear anything from outside of the car. It basically has a noise cancellation system in the car, and it works flawlessly. I think the car is the most quiet car I've ever driven. I pretty much feel like you can hear me if I whisper like this without me having to yell. But I'm gonna go back and yelling because I'm excited about this thing. From the engine to the gearbox to the accelerator to the brake pedal, everything flows so well. This is a really well calibrated car. And again, when you find a really well calibrated car, you gotta appreciate it because they're not made everywhere. They're hard to come by. This is one of those exercises where you go, holy fucking shit. They delivered on every promise. The car has all the power in the world. It moves this gigantic car in a second if you want to get out of trouble. And if you don't, if you're just cruising, nothing does it better than this. Now, it's got rear wheel steering. And that makes it so much better. Why? Because it does it in two phases. Number one, when you're somewhere going slow and you just want to do a quick move or do a quick UE, the car will really make those tires go against the front ones so that you can get a better ratio on your turn. And it's incredible when you're doing fast driving and you want to do that, you can feel the entire car move with you. This is the car that I've ever felt the rear wheel steering the most. Then when you're going at high speeds, another thing kicks in. The rear tires go with your front tires so you can make that lane change into the next lane as smooth as butter on a pan. It's nuts. It's incredible. Everything that I loved about my Ghost, they grabbed it and they said, fuck that, we're just gonna make it way better and way more awesome. And they did. They delivered. The car looks incredible. The car feels incredible. The car drives incredible. The car is quiet. I mean, holy shit. Was the price bump really a bad thing? I don't think so. I think you're paying for what you're getting, a mini Phantom. And this has all of the buttons. It has all of the Phantomness of the other car, except the size and the price tag, which is $600,000 fucking dollars. So now, is this looking like a deal now more and more? Yeah, now you guys are on my side. So yeah, I gotta make a U-turn right now while I talk to you super casually. But man, I am blown away by this car. I think Rolls-Royce knocked it out of the park. I think the price bump is justified. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comments down below. My name is Alejandro, and I'm your friendly neighborhood Mexican. Take care. I don't know what that means.
And for those of you wondering, of course they kept the umbrella. Now, this one doesn't have it because they knew the Mexican was going to take it, so you don't steal it. No. Until it's sold, they don't put the umbrellas in the car, and you can personalize your umbrella. Just so you guys know. There you go. There you have it.